Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. I hope that January has been going really well for all of you. I'm a little bit shocked that it's already over halfway through the first month of the year, but it always seems to fly by, especially if you're having a lot of fun. So today I thought I would talk about Charlotte Tilbury, and if you've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, Charlotte Tilbury has been on everyone's lips lately, from her eyeshadow palettes, which are absolutely gorgeous, to the lip cheats, her lipsticks, especially the Matte Revolution ones, which I haven't managed to get a hold of yet, but soon, her Film Star Bronze and Glow, just everything. I haven't heard one bad thing about her products. So I did a little bit of a online order. Okay, 3 online orders. I splurged a bit. I got a whole bunch of things from Charlotte Tilbury and I wanted to share with you guys my experience. So do a little bit of a mini review and also apply it so you can see what it looks like on. And this is the finished look, but I'll get started in a moment, and I'm just going to warn you, it is going to be my bare face, so just watch out for that. So I did warn you guys, we're back to my blank face. All I've got on is a bit of foundation and a little bit of concealer. So I just thought we would get right into it. And the first product that I'm going to use is the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow, which is essentially a contour and a highlight. But I also like to use the bronze shade as a bronzer as well. So when you open it up, it's got a sculpt and a highlight shade. They're absolutely huge pans, so I don't know that I'm going to be using up either of these anytime soon, but that's one of the things that I really love about this palette, aside from the gorgeous packaging. And it also has a really large mirror inside as well. Mine's a little bit dirty. But yeah, I love that you can throw this in your bag and it's kind of really good for on the go as well. So I'll just get started with contouring my face, and I kind of like to apply the powder in a 3 shape down the sides of my face. You'll see what I mean once I start doing it, and I'm applying this with the Real Techniques buffing brush rather than the contour brush, just because I feel like, I don't know, I get a bit more colour with this. I also should note that these are really pigmented, so you don't need to use a lot to get good colour payoff on your skin. So just kind of get started at the top of my face and just kind of frame my face. I don't really have to contour a lot. You'll probably notice that I've got quite prominent cheekbones. Oh gosh, I hope I haven't put on too much, can't really tell. Like this, and then I just kind of like to throw the powder down along the bottom of my jawline, a little bit on my chin, basically where the sun would hit your face, and then we'll just do the same thing on the other side. And what you want to do is make sure that when you're contouring your face that you are bringing the contour up rather than down. So I hope that kind of makes sense. It's a bit hard to do when you've got the mirror on your left hand like I currently do. And then I just put a little bit down the sides of my nose as well. The other thing that you want to do when you're bronzing your face is just make sure that you bring it down your neck a little bit so the whole thing blends in really seamlessly. Sorry about all my hair, it's kind of just getting everywhere. Then the next thing that I like to do is apply a bit of blusher. Now I haven't bought one of the blushes from Charlotte Tilbury, so I'm just going to go ahead and apply a bit of NARS, and this is in the shade Deep Throat. It's just a really nice pinky shimmery shade, and I kind of love that this has also got a mirror in it. And I'm using this really old Nutrimetics brush. I kind of need to get a new blusher brush, but I like the way that this is just really big and I can kind of quite easily got a lot of product on there, the blush on my cheeks. Now the next thing that I'll be applying is highlighter, so I'll be going back to the Film Star Bronze and Glow palette and just dipping into the highlighter. It is very shimmery, so I should probably just say that both of the sculpting and highlighting shades do have a bit of shimmer to them, so if that's not your thing, you're really not going to like this palette. Personally, I don't mind a bit of shimmer just because these are both such beautiful shades. So I like to apply that to the top of my cheekbone, and I'm just applying this with the Real Techniques contour brush, a little bit down my nose, and then I also just apply a little bit on my brow bone. I probably should be using a more precise brush. Oh, and a little bit here on my Cupid's bow too. So yeah, like I said, I really love both of these, but I do think that if you're not into shimmer, you're not going to like these. I think that the highlight shade is absolutely lovely, and the thing that I really liked about the Sculpt shade is that I find a lot of bronzers to be very terracotta coloured and they look really muddy on my skin, which I'm not a big fan of. So I just have found that this has been the perfect shade for me, and it's not too dark either, so it's absolutely great. So really loving this product. Next, let's get started with eyes, and I'm going to just start off with a bit of the NARS Pro Prime Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. I use this pretty much every single day, just as a base for my eyeshadow, just because I feel like nothing moves when I've got this on my eyes. And I'm just going to just smooth that on with my finger. And I think if you want something that's a little bit less expensive, I've also tried the Urban Decay Potion Primer, and it's excellent. They've got a few different kinds out there, so I'd highly recommend those as well if the NARS one is just a little bit out of your price range, but I think both of them are probably a bit expensive. So for eyeshadow, I'm going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury Golden Goddess eyeshadow palette, and this is such a beautiful palette. I don't know if you can see all of these shades here. So there's 4 shades, and they're split into 4 different categories. So there's Prime, Enhance, Smoke, and Pop. So basically Charlotte Tilbury's taken all of the guesswork out of doing your eye makeup for you. She's got it right here in a palette, and you can do so much with this. I've been wearing it every day, just using the the Prime and Enhance shades on my eyelids, and it's very natural looking. It's not over the top, and the quality of these is really lovely as well. They last all day. They don't crease, especially if you were wearing a eyeshadow base like I always am, because I've got oily eyelids. But yeah, I just love how natural looking they are, and it's just so easy for when you're on the go and you just want to throw on some eyeshadow in the morning. The other product that I've got for the eyes from Charlotte Tilbury are a couple of the Colour Chameleon Creamy Eyeshadow Sticks. So I've got these in the shade Dark Pearl for brown eyes, this is the day shade, and also Champagne Diamonds for blue eyes, which is also a day shade. I kind of went for the Champagne Diamonds first, and then after a while I sort of got attached to this Dark Pearl shade, so I thought I'd give that one a go as well. And I do have brown eyes, so that's probably the one I should have bought in the first place. I'm not going to put these on my eyes today, but I will show you a swatch of what they look like, and I'll insert it somewhere here so you can see. But basically, I'll give you my thoughts on both of these. So like I said, I initially bought the Champagne Diamonds shade, and this is just this really pretty champagne coloured eyeshadow stick, and I love champagne coloured anything when it comes to eyeshadow, so I was immediately drawn to it and I had to have it. The thing is, I'm not a big fan of this. I found that when I put it on my eyes, it is really creamy, it does dry and then doesn't move at all. Like, it's not going to budge. You put your finger on it, it's not going to budge at all. But I got all of this glitter down my face everywhere. I mean, it's great when it's Christmas time and you're wearing a lot of glitter to begin with, but when it's not Christmas time and you're wearing this during the day, you look like a bit of a disco ball. So it's one of the things that I didn't really like about it. The other thing that I didn't like particularly was the formula, because I found that while it was creamy when you put it on, it didn't have a very nice feeling after it set. It was quite leathery to the touch. But the funny thing is, one of my best friends who was recently visiting from the UK, she actually has the same one, and she doesn't have the problem that I do with the fallout all over my cheeks. She doesn't get that at all. Hers seems to have a lot less loose glitter pigment in this shadow, which is really unusual. But when we're saying that, once I bought the Dark Pearl for brown eyes, like, this is something I will probably be repurchasing as soon as it runs out, because I really like this shade. It looks really dark when you first apply it to the eyes, but as soon as you blend it out, it becomes this really light, soft, you know, burgundy purpley color, and it's so flattering. It doesn't have any glitter in it. It's just got a little bit of a sheen, which I really like, and I think it's very appropriate for day-to-day wear. It also feels very kind of satiny, suede-y once it's set. So I'm not sure what's going on here, but these seem to be different formulas. So I would highly recommend swatching them if you can, just because I don't think that all of these Colour Chameleons are created equal. But like I said, I do really love the Dark Pearl shade, so maybe I just got a bit of a dub with the Champagne Diamonds shade. Alright, so we'll get started with the actual palette now. So I am going to start off with the Prime shade, which is this really pretty champagne shade here. And I'm just going to put that all over the lid. And as you can see, it is very subtle. It's kind of got a little bit of a beige, you know, warmth to it, which I really like. Hopefully I'm not going to poke myself in the eye with a brush this time. Okay, so next I'm going to get started with this slightly ashy toned brown, and that is the enhanced shade. And I'm going to take this in the outer V slightly and maybe try to and just bring it into the socket a little bit and along the bottom lash line. I really like this color, and I feel like this combination of the two shades is so pretty for every day. And yeah, I really like wearing that. I always get, I don't know if it's just me, but every single time I apply eyeshadow, my eyelashes always go slightly light grey or white. I'm not sure if it's just because they're really dark. Anyway, so now I'm going to apply the Smoke shade, which is this really lovely chocolatey brown, and I'm going to go ahead and just layer that on top of the enhanced shade in the outer V, bringing that into the socket and just really deepening the colour there. And this has such good pigmentation, like it's really lovely. And I just kind of love how it brings a lot of warmth to the eye as well. You probably notice this whole look is very, very subtle. It's not, you know, over the top. Now the last thing I'm going to do is put the Pop shade in the center of my eyelid, and that is just this really lovely dark gold glitter. And I actually haven't used this before, so I guess we're just going to see how it goes. But I'm just going to press that in the corner of, sorry, in the center of my eye using my finger. And I really like this. I think this would be really nice if you're going out for a lovely dinner with your boyfriend. Okay, so that's what the eyeshadow looks like. And I'm actually going to go ahead and put on a bit of eyeliner as well, just because I really like a bit of a cat eye flick if I'm wearing a lot of eyeshadow like this. And I'm going to attempt to do this on camera, but I've never done that before, so we'll sort of see how this all goes. But I like to kind of hold down my eyelashes while I do this. Oh gosh. Okay, now I've got one eye done. I need to make sure the other one's the same, which I always feel is that this is actually the hardest part of applying eyeliner. You can do one eye, it looks great. You do the other eye, it's wonky. Every single time, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that this happens to. Okay, great. So I got my eyeliner done, and I managed to do it without mucking it up, and I think they both look even. Pretty sure. Like I said, I'm using this Stila Stay All Day liquid eyeliner, and I've been using this for the last year or so. I can't, or maybe even longer than that. I actually can't remember what I was using before this. I have tried the one from MAC and I didn't like it. It dried out very, very quickly, but there are a few that I want to try, and the first one is the liquid eyeliner pen from Tom Ford, and I've heard it is excellent, only very pricey, and I haven't actually bothered to go into David Jones to find out how much it costs, just because I know it's going to break my heart. It's going to be that expensive. The other ones that I want to try is the Kat Von D Tattoo Eyeliner, and they sell that at Sephora, and I have seen it. They just didn't have the colour in stock that I was after. And then I also want to try the Charlotte Tilbury one, just because the packaging looks really gorgeous, and I have been really loving all of the products that I bought so far. So I'm going to get started with mascara pretty soon, and I'll be using the Charlotte Tilbury Full Fat Lashes Mascara, but I just wanted to say a couple more things about the Golden Goddess Luxury Palette. So like I said, the shadows themselves are really creamy, and I'll put some swatches on the back of my hand just so you can see how pigmented they actually are. I think out of all of them, I really like the glitter shade the most. I just love the gold flecks that it adds to your eyes, and I just think it really makes the whole look pop. Okay, so I'm going to get right in there and start doing my lashes, and I'm not going to curl them, and I'm just going to admit that I don't curl my lashes on a daily basis. I find it is quite high maintenance to have to do that extra step, and so I just choose more often than not to just go straight for the mascara. so much easier, just go straight for the mascara. And a lot of the mascaras that I've been using lately are really lengthening and they're volumizing, and I feel that I don't really need to use it at all. So the Full Fat Lashes mascara comes in this chocolate brown tube, and it is a fiber bristle brush, which I really like. I mean, I actually don't mind plastic brushes. I know a lot of people have a bit of beef with them and they prefer just the bristle brushes, but to me it doesn't really make any difference. You can see, and I'll insert a clip, but it is quite densely packed with bristles. And you know what, I've got to tell you guys before I even apply this mascara is incredible. Like, it's incredible. Even just one coat makes your lashes so much longer, and as soon as you apply the second coat, it really volumizes and makes them really look really thick and full, and like you've got falsies on even when you don't. So I'll just go ahead and apply this, and I'm just going to use the mirror from my Bronze and Glow palette to see what. I don't know if you can see the difference, but if I'm looking at myself in the mirror, I can totally tell the difference, you know, like it's just incredible from that eye to that one. Yeah. We'll just do the other side as well. So like I said, this is a really great mascara, and I'll definitely be repurchasing it when it runs out, and I'm hoping that's not going to be for a really long time, but you know, with mascaras you're meant to replace them every couple of months or so. But yeah, I prefer this to my Lancome mascara, which I've got the Grandiose mascara, and I've also tried Hypnose and Doll Eyes before, but this definitely comes out on top for me. Now the last thing that I'm going to apply is lip liner and lipstick. So the lip liner that I'm going to use is one of Charlotte Tilbury's Lip Cheats, and this is in the shade Pink Venus. And I have to say, when I first got this, I did not like it at all, and it's starting to grow on me, but I still don't like it as much as, say, MAC, because I feel like MAC lip liners are a lot creamier than these. I had tried to purchase the shade Pillow Talk, but it was completely sold out at the time that I bought this. So maybe I'll give that a go, and then I might have a better idea as to whether or not I really love this. But I'll just get started and I'll pop this on. So I don't know if you can tell, but it's quite a few shades lighter than my natural lip color, and I think that sort of, you can tell in the center towards the back that there is a disparity between the shades. But yeah, and the other thing, these are very, very matte. I prefer a creamier lip pencil to something that's very matte. So that's just one thing to consider if you're looking at buying one of these. Once it's completely applied, I mean, I do quite like the color, but yeah, I'm not 100% sold on the formula. And like I said, I'd prefer to just spend a little bit more money, or maybe they're about the same, to get one from MAC instead. And then I'm going to apply one of Charlotte Tilbury's Kissing Lipsticks, and you would have already heard me talk about this in my December favorites, I think. And this is in the shade Stoned Rose, and it's just a really lovely muted pink color. I was actually quite lucky with this because obviously I've never swatched them, and I just bought it sight unseen, and it turned out to be a really great shade for my skin tone. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop this on. Now I have to say, one of the things that I do really like about this lipstick is how creamy it is, but it kind of dries down to a slightly matte finish. It's not overly drying on the lips, and it lasts a really long time, especially if you're wearing a lip liner underneath. So a few weeks ago, when Luke's brother was down from Northern Territory with his wife, we went out for lunch, and I applied this earlier that day, and I think it lasted probably 5 or 6 hours. I didn't have to do any touch-ups. I ate lunch, and it still looked like I had just applied it by the time I got home, and that's something I really like. I also quite like the colour that I get when I apply this lipstick over the lip liner. It's a little bit more pink. I mean, obviously this is a slightly brown toned pinky nude, But yeah, I really like that. So this is the finished look. I hope you guys really like this video. I had a lot of fun filming it, and as you can see, this is such a great look for every day, and a lot of the products are what I have been using on a daily basis. So I feel like this is pretty much, you know, what I would go to work wearing, maybe minus the glitter. But yeah, so if you guys enjoyed watching this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see you next time. Bye!